Lately I've been on my own. I've been in the twilight zone. Please don't call my phone. Don't nobody call my phone. When it's all done and said, I be chillin' with alone. I been break it down like a switch. The K on strong like a loan.
Alright, so welcome to another edition, another episode of Do It For The Culture podcast. It's your host, it's D, and I am here with
Tafari DEE, baby. Yeah.
Definitely in the building. I appreciate you for doing this with me. How you feeling right now? What's going on? You good?
I'm good. I'm alive. I'm well, and constantly evolving. I just put it that way.
Definitely evolving. Definitely excited that you're here. Definitely excited to get into some things. And let's definitely give the culture what they need, and let's teach the culture about you, right?
Yes, sir.
So give us the background on your name. Like, how did you first get your artist name? Like, how did you know that that's the name that you wanted to go with?
Alright, so honestly, with names, I went through a few crazy things. When I was in high school, because I'm only 21, I'll be 22 in like 2 months.
Okay.
So I realized that I could actually sing when I was 18, because some friends told me I was trying to be a songwriter. So I was going through names, and we were trying to do a collective called Hymns of the High. So that was my very first artist name, like Hymns of the High.
Right.
But then I took them out, and I'm like, I could still be Hymns of the High, but it didn't sound right. So my father, who passed, he's Jamaican, and his name is Louis Tafari Gordon. So out of respect for my father, and I'm D, which stands for Diamond Joyce, that's my name, and he always called me DJ, so I just made my name Tafari DEE. And even with that, it was Taffy D at first, and somebody was like, that sounds like Taffy Apple, which they was a dumbass.
yeah.
But nonetheless, yeah, Tafari DEE kind of stuck, and yeah, that's why I chose that name, out of honor for my father.
That's definitely dope, and I like your name. It's definitely different.
Thank you.
And you are definitely, I feel like, in a lane of your own. And that's what I appreciate, you know, even
Thank
with,
you. That means a lot.
like, even your presence is just, like, crazy. I'll be real
Appreciate that, G.
So,
Yeah.
so tell them a little bit of background on your music and what's your message to the people.
Music, for me, for one, before it's actually like by commercial definition of standards, it's therapeutic for me, number one. So music has always been something, before I even knew that I could create music. It was something that got me through. It was something that woke me up. It was something that got me energized. Like, I know I need to do this today. Let me listen to some crazy shit, DMX, whatever I'm listening to. Like, you feel me? So music has always been therapeutic for me, because I've pretty much spent my entire life as a loner. I'm a person that's capable of having friends, but I still feel lonely in a room of people. So music has always played that role for me. And I don't know, it developed unknowingly, because like I said, I didn't know that I could do music. I wrote narratives as a child. I would say when I was 14, it developed into poetry, so I did a lot of spoken word. I performed. I was trying to join a group, shout out to Kumba Links. You know, I still consider myself as an extended family member, but I never really got to join that group because I moved to Atlanta when I was 16. When I was 16. And then from there, shit, I met these East Side Atlanta dudes and shit. I got my first apartment when I was 17 in College Park. It was my senior year of high school, and I had an apartment, and that's when I found out that I could sing and do music. So music has always been there one way or the other.
What's the first song that you ever wrote, or the first song that you put out? What was the name of that song?
Damn, wait, I know I know the answer to this. Hold on. It was like, let me think of the lyrics first. Velvet's Vision. My very first song was called Velvet's Vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote it in high school. It was about this person. And I'm just like, you gotta find the one worth suffering for, and I'ma suffer for you with my dumb ass. But the song was dope. That was my first song that I wrote, and I was like 17. But the crazy part is I didn't know that I could sing until I was 18. So I had this boy sing the lyrics for me. I only performed the verse part at a school talent show in Atlanta of the song, which was basically poetry, because I'm like, I cannot sing. But yeah, that was my first song, Velvet's Vision.
And
I still got the shit. I'll pull out the lyrics. I still got the song too. But yeah, I got that.
I definitely. Have you ever thought about like remastering it and like putting it back out or?
No, not until you said that. No, because it's like, I don't know, with artistry, you know, whether you drawing the picture or singing, it's like, as you develop, you basically revising things that you didn't do as good at one point. So
yeah,
hearing old music, I don't even want to hear it because I'm like, I
yeah,
sound like this. But
I was a different mind state then.
I probably would do something like that. So that's something that I definitely want to do.
So you are a songwriter, correct?
Yes, I
am. How do you feel about people or artists that don't write their own music?
Child, don't ask me that. Man,
because you know there's this thing I hear a lot that like with R&B artists and soul artists that they don't write records, you know.
So for me, because it's not really a new thing, I feel like it depends on your like diversity of skill. Because Whitney Houston didn't write her own songs, Beyonce don't write her own songs, but it's because they provide a certain quality elsewhere. So if you got range, you gonna do something to that song that the writer potentially can't even do. So that, I feel alone, it's like, okay, when you take the song away, this person still has talent. Now with rappers, I personally have a problem with it a little bit, because I'm like, okay, rap, you're literally getting credit for your lyricism, your wordplay, and everything else. So if that's somebody else's, what do you have? Like,
right.
Anybody could put tattoos on their face. So I feel like for singers, it may be not even singers, performers. If you're an all-around performer like Michael Jackson, there's plenty of songs that Michael ain't write, but nobody can tell him how to dance. Nobody can tell him how to hit the, you know.
Yeah.
So
he's definitely a performer.
Yeah, it just depends on what you provide, you know.
Yeah.
So shit, I think, I don't know, but rappers is a little tricky.
That's definitely true. So how do you feel about because like there's been like a gap in like R&B and soul and just like there's not too many, it's like one at a time, right? And do you feel like it's getting better, or do you think it's a time where like look at even like female rap, right? It was a time where it was a drought, and then now it's female rappers everywhere.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it could come back for like R&B and soul and just like singing in general? Like will that ever, do you think that will ever come back?
Just off my upbringing and experiencing what I perceive to be real music,
yeah.
I really think that it depends on the individual and really the frequency that you own, because some of this shit is like low frequency, and if you at a low frequency, it's going to appeal to you, vice versa, you feel me? So with that, I feel that we got to understand that, you know, nothing is created or destroyed, literally, from matter to music or whatever. It's just going to transcend and turn into something else. So I'm not necessarily mad, because if I was born in the 60s or something, my access would be totally different. I would be at Motown, you feel me? Knocking on the door. But instead, all I got to do is wake up and turn on my phone, and, you know, and really it's about my diligence and my consistency. So I feel that the time period that I'm born in is definitely right for me in terms of access and networking, but originality ultimately comes from you, because back in the day you had white people honestly stealing from credible music artists. You had Elvis taken from several artists.
Elvis was the biggest.
And he still gets credit because people just choose to not be in tune. So all the female rappers, I'm not mad because, you know, it's giving, you know, some small group of girls or whatever they're supposed to be some type of courage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's about what's inside. I'm not looking for nobody to motivate me personally.
Right.
Because it's not even people that I directly know that do that. So it's just about the standard that you set and the frequency that you on.
That's definitely true. I like that. That was well said.
Thank you, Ben.
So being an indie artist, right? I see a lot of artists complain a lot about this. And I just wanted you to share your opinion on this. A lot of them complain about support systems and that they don't have people supporting them. How do you deal with that, and how do you feel about a tight support system? Or do you even care? Like, how do you feel about that?
In all honesty, I'm used to people not supporting me. So I feel that once I reached my artistry, it really didn't affect me as much.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to my point of me naturally being a loner, not in a depressing or a sad way, but I'm used to, you know, being content in my solitude. So once I put something out to the world, your critique really don't matter to me at that point. So support systems, unless I feel like you have a direct involvement or value to my brand and to what I'm trying to produce, I don't need your support. Because realistically, support is, okay, are you helping expand my skill set or my brand or anything else? It's not just, oh, I mess with your music, G. Like, anybody could say that.
Right.
And there's people that have said that about the hottest artists, and now them artists is locked up or dead, and they ain't thinking about them no more. They thinking about somebody else. So
that's true.
I've never really looked for support because, shit, in my personal life, I rarely got it. So I think that I've always made that uncomfortable adjustment, but now I'm completely comfortable with it.
That's definitely true. I feel that.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that. And it's just about, and then sometimes you just got to protect your space. Because, like, I mean, the way the industry is going now, you only as hot as your last
Exactly.
project,
And then when people talk about support, you got to realize, like, you can't give others what you are not giving to yourself. So why would I put obligation on somebody to support me when they're not doing their best, when they're not even pursuing their dream, or they want to be a fashion designer, or they want to do this and they want to do this, but they haven't, you know, did those things. So, you know, you really can't put too many expectations on people. That's
definitely true. I feel that. So what are some of the songs that they need to check out and look forward to that's out now? What are some of the songs that they need to have in their playlist rocking right now from you?
I don't know, my personal favorites are actually different from the ones that I get critique on. So I've gotten good reviews. I released an EP last year called Impartial and Impatient. It's a 7-song EP. It was my very first project.
Okay.
So with that project, the first song, Xanadu, that was actually, besides Velvet's Vision, that was one of the first songs that I wrote too. I think that's a very good song. I like all of them for different reasons. Ebony E.T. for the production. Shout out to Hit God on that one. He produces like 90% of my stuff because we like best friends. So that one, the production is crazy. Like, he really just changed that track completely. Right now I got Twilight coming out featuring Jay Hayes. Shout out to Jay Hayes.
Okay.
That's definitely gonna be something to hear. Shy Yard. Got a few different songs.
So do you have the title of the next project already?
So I was thinking about making a project, but then I realized, like, not necessarily my popularity, because I don't care, but where I'm at as an artist, like, you know, just us having this discussion earlier of people want convenience, you know, they don't want to search too hard. So shit, my whole thing with that is, like, I don't know. Damn, I got lost in the question.
So the next
exactly. The next project, basically, people don't want to search too hard.
Yeah.
So knowing that where I'm at as an indie artist, I don't have anybody really pushing my brand except me. I'm just releasing singles right now.
Okay.
So shit, right now I'm sitting on about 18 to 20 songs at least, that, you know, that I can just put out and, you know, promote those individually, then like, hey, here's a link to a whole project.
Yeah,
I hope you listen to it.
I hope you.
And then it's like this one song that's good get like 2,000 plays, streams, and then the other one get like 100. Like, I don't think I got time for that.
That's definitely true. That is definitely real spiel right there.
Yeah.
So the project that they can check out right now is already out on all streaming platforms. Give them the name of that project again.
Impartial and Impatient. That was released last June 4th, I believe. Not sure whenever, but 7-song project. I released that, so that's out. And then in addition to that, I probably got like 5 or 6 singles.
And so Twilight is the next single that's coming out.
Yes.
So Twilight will be out soon.
Yes.
And
by Halloween. That's what I'm shooting for.
So we're shooting for Halloween on the next single. And then let them know as well your social media handles. So like Twitter, Instagram, so they'll know where to follow you at real quick.
So I'm not going to lie. A lot of weird things been going down on Twitter. I deleted my Twitter because Twitter is like Google on steroids. I can't even deal with it. So you can follow me on IG at Tafari DEE. That's like a safari with a T, but people don't understand that, so I'm going to just spell it out. It's TAFARIDEE. And that's for everything. That's for Google, that's for Tidal, that's for Apple Music, Spotify, and so forth. SoundCloud as well. So, yeah, I just made everything consistent because I was that person that was like, oh, trippy name. And I'm like, okay. So Tafari DEE, that's what it is.
So definitely Tafari DEE right across the board, right?
Yes. But we ain't got Twitter because Twitter is strange. Absolutely.
So make sure you guys check her out. Make sure you check out all the projects that she got going on. Very, very dope artist. And then make sure you guys follow us. Do It For The Culture.
Do It For The Culture.
Follow us at Do It For The Culture 2 on Instagram. And then Do It For The CULT on Twitter. And then also you can go to doitfortheculture.com, and that's Do It For The Culture with THA, not THE. And you can follow me at RealIsB on all social platforms. And appreciate you coming through.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you doing this with me. And there'll be more to come as well, right?
Yes,
You'll
absolutely.
definitely be coming back and kicking it with us. And I appreciate you. We definitely salute. We out.
And one other thing, I'm going to the LA Film School. I will be there coming this November. So if you in LA, if you're from Chicago, wherever you at, let's connect on the map. BlackPeopleMeet.com. Not really. Come on, let's do it. That's it. Shout out to you, G.
Definitely out.
I've been in the twilight zone. Please don't call my phone. Don't nobody call my phone. When it's all done and said, I be chilling with a loan. I be break it down like a switch. Decay on strong like a loan.